Hey guys, how's it going? This is Flumposaur coming at you with another Feral PvP Arena video. In this video I'll be going over some gameplay, explaining my thought process, as well as analyzing things that went right and things that went wrong during the matches. So let's get right into it. In this first match, we go up against a SPriest, UnholyDK and HPally. So we decide to focus the DK from the start, but for some reason I open on the Priest instead. I have no idea, maybe I just wanted to confuse him, who knows. But it's all good because I switch back onto the DK, and after putting up my 5-point rip, I cyclone their healer to get that pressure rolling early on. Now, unfortunately, the DK is able to juke both me and my warrior, that's embarrassing, and manages to pull off a Hungering Cold, catching us both in it. The DK gets bopped, so I cyclone him to prevent any incoming heals. I then chase down their pally and manage to get a bash on him, leaving him far away from the action and stunned there for 5 seconds. At this point, we get their DK down to low HP, and I manage to get a full clone on their pally. Now here's where the other team makes a huge mistake. The Priest life grips the DK over to the opposite side of the map with barely any HP left. By pulling him further away from his healer, this pretty much secured us the win. In this next match, we go up against a Rogue Mage Priest. We decide on the Mage as our kill target, but because mages are great at kiting, it's important to keep your bleeds up at all times. Also make sure you get your healer to dispel the mage's roots as soon as possible to keep the pressure up. In this moment I pass right by the rogue, but decide to keep on moving, sticking to the plan and opening on the mage. As soon as I get my 5-point rip on the mage, I throw a cyclone on their priest to try and push for some early pressure. Now here's when things get messy. My healer catches a full poly from the mage, and right after it ends, he accidentally jumps off the bridge. Now against a melee team, the best thing to do in this situation would be to jump down with him and make your way back up as a team, denying the opponent the opportunity to get ahead in the game. But since they have a caster and no one is in immediate danger, we decide to sit up top and wait for the healer to run back up. Next you'll see how I make two huge mistakes. First, their mage retreats back to his healer, and I charge in after him. Now instead of getting a bash on their healer, probably forcing him to use his trinket, I try and stun the mage and jump back to cat form, wasting a huge opportunity. The next big mistakes come right after. My warrior gets focused and starts receiving a large amount of damage. Instead of cycloning the mage to relieve some of the pressure, I clone the priest instead, which ends up being a complete waste since my team is forced to go defensive anyway. At this point, we manage to pull back and regain control of the match. I keep the pressure up on the mage and manage to clone the priest when he pops his inner focus, preventing him from freely casting and topping off his mage. Right after, I switch to bear form and get a full bash on him, hoping my warrior is still training the mage. Unfortunately, my healer gets distracted and catches a full fear from the priest, and since I failed to keep a fairy fire up on the rogue manages to re-stealth and sap my healer right after the fear. At this point we've lost most of our pressure and are rapidly losing control of the match. The opposing team starts bursting on my warrior, and the mage gets a blanket silence on our healer. Again I make the same mistake of cloning the priest instead of the mage to relieve some pressure, and the mage catches our healer with a deep freeze, followed by a psychic scream from the priest, leading to the death of our warrior. So why not end this video with a good old-fashioned cheese? In this next match, we go up against a Hunter, HPally, and Rogue. So our general strat against cheeses is pop cooldowns early and survive their initial burst. If that means having to be a bit more defensive off the start, so be it. As soon as their cooldowns are out, it's pretty much GG from that point on. So we choose the Hunter as our initial kill target, but as soon as I jump on him, he pops the turrets. So I switch to the Rogue to keep the DPS flowing. Now because my warrior is taking a substantial amount of damage, I decide to maim the Rogue and clone the Pally, to which they both respond by using their trinkets. So as you can see, at this point all 3 of the opposing team have used their trinkets. I decide it's a good time to pop my Berserk, but like an idiot, I fail to notice the Hand of Protection on the Rogue. So I run around like a complete retard, wasting about 5 seconds of my Berserk. At this point my Poly calls out he's caught in a full repentance, and my warrior's health is dropping fast. So it's my job to peel as best as I can to buy my healer some time. I manage to get a DR maim on the Rogue and a full clone on the Red as I jump on the Hunter to try and peel with some heavy damage. The Hunter uses his second deterrent, which means he's pretty much out of defensive cooldowns. It's time to focus the Hunter. The Hunter finally goes down, and our warrior survives the burst from the Red and Rogue. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out all the other videos on my channel, and please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.